Hello and welcome, everyone. We have a lot of great information coming, so let's go ahead and get started. This is Natalie from My Social Practice. I hope you have all had a great Tuesday. Thank you for joining us tonight. Everyone attending is on mute and will remain on mute for the webinar, but you may still ask questions or make comments in the chat or Q&A features here on Zoom. So please don't hesitate to do that. I am so excited to introduce our speaker tonight, Blake Hadley. Blake is a founder and president of My Social Practice. He has won a number of national and international awards in art direction, advertising, and creative marketing strategy. He is passionate about helping dental practices use out-of-the-box thinking to create stories that spread on social media. Over the past 10 plus years in My Social Practice, he has spoken to dental audiences all over the country and has helped thousands of practices thrive on social media. And tonight we are lucky enough to hear from Blake. He's going to be talking about how to use Instagram and leverage Instagram as a powerful tool to effectively grow your dental practice. These tips from Blake are very informative and helpful to all dental practices, especially going into this new year. So we won't delay, we will get started. And here is Blake.
Right. Thank you so much, Natalie, for that introduction. I think I just started my video. Let's, can you see me okay? Let me see here. All right, Natalie, can you see me and the screen okay?
Yeah, we can see you. I don't know if we can see the screen. We just saw it, but we can see you now.
Okay, I put the screen. Oh, 1 second here. I've done enough of these. You'd think I would know what I'm doing here. All right, let's see, share. Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Natalie. It's great to see so many people on this call tonight. I know it's kind of late for in some places. It's getting dark here. We're in Utah, actually, and it's starting to get a little bit dark. But welcome to everybody joining live. And if you're watching this as a recording, we will be recording this. And so if you're watching this as a recording, I'm glad you could watch it. As Natalie mentioned, I am going to be going over 10 tips for increasing your dental practice's Instagram following in 2021. This is one of the biggest questions that I get actually from a lot of dental practices is how do I get more followers on my social media accounts and on my Instagram page? You know, I just started my page. Now I post all the time, but then nobody's really following me and I don't know if my posts are even doing any good. So I wanted to address this with this webinar tonight. Let me just tell you really quickly about My Social Practice. If you haven't heard of us before, or if you've just heard about us, we're the #1 comprehensive social media marketing solution for dental practices. We've been in the industry for over 10 years now. We have partnered with some of the industry's top leaders to bring you the most information we can. And then we have one of the largest social media followings in the industry. We would love for you to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Go check out our Google reviews. We really practice what we preach. It's how we grew our business is through social media. You've probably maybe seen some of our ads as you've been on social media over the years. We really hit social media hard and it's grown our business very effectively. We also host one of the largest digital marketing conferences for dental practices. It's called the DDMC. We used to have them at physical locations, and this last year we did it live, a virtual DDMC live. We hosted it with Ultradent. And if you'd like to watch those presentations, we connected with all the industry leaders in marketing, and we had them give little TED style talks. But you can go to ddmclive.com and you can watch those if you're interested. I want to start with this quote by Seth Godin. You may know who Seth Godin is. He's a marketing guru that we follow religiously at My Social Practice. He said, marketing is no longer about the stuff that you make, but about the stories you tell. And in my opinion, Instagram is the best storytelling platform that you can be on right now in social media. It has grown immensely. They're constantly updating it. It's a very, very powerful and effective storytelling platform. Just to show you some statistics about Instagram, they have over 1 billion monthly active users. and over 500 million daily stories are shared on the platform. And it's also the fastest growing social network. Facebook is still the leader of how many adults say that they use the platform, but Instagram is actually growing faster than Facebook. And in my opinion, I think it will soon pass Facebook. Also, when it comes to engagement, meaning people that actually comment, like, and share on the platform, Instagram is the leader over Twitter and Facebook. More people, when they log on, when they get on their phones, they're interacting more than the other two platforms. So that's why we're talking about Instagram. It is very important that your practice has an Instagram account in 2021. So now for my 10 tips of how to build your following. Once you've set up your page, here's how to build your following. Tip number 1, you need to know your audience to build your following. You need to know who you're talking to. Who are you trying to reach and build relationships with on Instagram? So there's 2 different strategies that I've seen dentists do with who they're trying to reach. The first strategy is to create a business page for your dental practice. So many of you might have this for your dental practice already. So this is a practice page. The name of the page will be your practice's name. You're going to want to focus on a local audience because those are going to be your potential patients. And then most of the time, sometimes the dentist will be in charge of it, but most of the times the dentist will put somebody in charge in the practice. Maybe a marketing person or their front desk person or their office manager, whoever might be in charge of posting, because you as a dentist may just not have time to do that. So that's your practice page. That's one approach. And the audience is a local audience of potential patients. Now, the other approach is to create a personal brand page. Now, this is more around you as the dentist. So the name of the page might be your own name. You would focus on a local area, but you could also focus on a national audience. So connecting with other dental practices, connecting with other dentists that have a passion for dentistry, so you can relate to them in a lot of, comments and conversations about dentistry. And then I feel like you should do most of the posting. If this is your brand, you should post about dentistry, about the knowledge that you have, maybe some family things, some personal things. This is a personal brand page. I wanted to make sure you understand the difference, because sometimes I get dentists that say, man, we only have like 200 followers on our practices page. And I see these other dentists that have thousands and thousands of followers on their pages. But you need to know that some dentists are trying to go for a more national audience. They're trying to become a thought leader in dentistry and connect with other dentists across the country. And others are just practice pages where maybe 200, 300 people following that page is okay to have that amount of people. So it depends on what your goal is and who your target is. And that you'll post different things or use different hashtags depending on who you're trying to reach. So keep that in mind. My suggestion is to do both if you can. I know it takes a lot of time to manage 2 pages, but if you can manage your own personal page and maybe put someone in charge of the practice page, I think that's the best strategy to do. And then something neat that you can do in the bio, if you have your own personal page, you could then link to your practices page. Recently, Facebook allowed you to put links in the bio to other Instagram accounts. So you can see here, it says private practice, and then they put the at the name of the private practice so people could link to that page as well. So that's what I would recommend you do. Something kind of neat I just saw recently in the bio section. This will be important that you optimize your bio to say certain keywords, because Instagram just released that a keyword search is coming. So people might, in 2021, Instagram, I haven't seen that they actually have launched this yet, but people could actually write dentist in Salt Lake City, or without searching a specific hashtag or a specific Instagram account. It could be like a Google search where they just say dentist in my area and different accounts will start pulling up. So that's just something to be aware of, that your bio has certain keywords, your city's name, maybe your state's name, and dentist in it. All right. Tip number 2. Determine why someone would want to follow you. So they recently did a survey, it's a pretty large survey, to determine why people follow different Instagram pages. And there were about 4 or 5 top reasons that people follow businesses. So the first reason was inspiration and value. And this was just one of the comments made on the survey. This user said, I follow pages that inspire me or that teach me. So what can you do to inspire and to bring value to people? This is a great example. This is by Placerville Orthodontics. They offer little dental tips to their following. So let me show you a couple of these.
Hello, Dr. Sanders here. This is my daughter Ava.
Hi.
A common question we get is when should we first visit the orthodontist? The American Association of Orthodontics recommends first visiting an orthodontist at age 7. That's about when kids start losing their baby teeth.
And here's another one. This is from another dental practice that answers FAQs on their page.
Okay, it's time for another FAQ. This is one we get a lot. It is, why take my kids to a pediatric dentist? Or what is a pediatric dentist? How is a pediatric dentist different from a general dentist? So let me tell you. So how is a pediatric dentist different from a general dentist? The short answer is additional training and certification. I went to 4 years of undergrad and then 4 years of dental school to become.
Here's a practice that provides value by doing some reviews of dental products, and they use Instagram Reels, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. And she also uses TikTok to create these fun little videos.
I tried Quip electric toothbrush. Although it's marketed as an electric brush, it's really not electric or manual. It's somewhere in between. Think of it as a hybrid. With other electric toothbrushes, you should let them do the work for you. With Quip, you need to brush like normal. What I do love is their trendy marketing. If it gets you to brush better or longer, I'm happy.
Okay, so really short videos to the point. You can see on those other ones, they're very sincere, just talking to the camera, but providing value and inspiration to your audience. Second, they found that people like to follow brands that have positive vibes, is what they call it. So this user said, I follow pages that have beautiful photos and some positive vibes. So Bright Inspired Dentistry is one of our really good friends. We've worked with them for a long time. And when you go to their page, they have just pure positive vibes. And I want to show you a couple of their posts. You can see from this grid here, you could just feel the positive vibes coming off this page, but also these are their posts.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. I want to wake up in a city that never sleeps.
All right. All right, so they just do a lot of really fun things on their page that make people want to follow them. They get comments like this all the time. You guys always make me smile, the best of the best. Love it. You are so fun to watch. Love it. You know, they tag the Ellen Show. You should see this. You guys always make me smile. This practice actually a few years ago, they were doing so many of these videos that if you're familiar with the Steve Harvey Show, they actually invited them to be on their show, and because they had millions of views on one of their videos. And just because it's positive and it's something people like to follow. Number 3, people like to follow practices that have a good community feeling. This user said, I follow those who interact with their followers and who aren't always trying to sell you something on every post. That gets annoying. So many of the practices we work with, we teach them that social media is social. It's a conversation that you have with other people. You wouldn't walk into a party and just try to sell your stuff and talk about yourself. You want to engage with people and start conversations. So here's a couple posts from Mountain West Dentist. They do just that. They talk about small businesses. They say tag a grad. They give gift cards away to graduating seniors. Just do things that involve them in the community and interact with people in their community. Something like this too, just sometimes graphics that just ask questions where people want to interact are kind of fun. It doesn't always have to be people in the photo, even though those seem to work better. But if it's a graphic that asks people a certain question and then causes conversation. Number 4, people want real and unique. They want to see the real and unique personality of the feed. So here's a couple user comments. They say, I have a thing for people who share themselves in a creative way. As someone else, I look for honesty, sincerity, and energy. So when someone first goes to your page, what's their first impression as they look at this grid of photos? I want you to look at the one on the left and then the one on the right. So the one on the left is kind of stock image or stock image after stock image. And even though there's some bright colors and they're nice stock images, what's the feel that you get from that compared to the one on the right? The one on the right seems very more real, very more sincere, creative. The other one on the left seems like you're just gonna get a sales pitch every time they post. Here's another example, same sort of idea. The one on the left, if someone were to look at that for first glance, they probably would not click follow. On the right, they'd actually see the personalities of the people in your office and they'd be more interested in following you. Tip number 3, focus on getting patients to follow you first. I want you to focus on your patients, those people that already love you, that already have a relationship with you. Let's focus on them. And here's a few tips on how to do that. The first strategy is, of course, just ask them. And I know this is easier said than done. A lot of times practices forget to ask their patients to follow them, but try to remember to do that and incentivize your team and set some goals in your practice. We found that when team members say to the patient, hey, are you on Instagram? Yes, I am. We've set a goal in our office to hit 1,000 followers this year. Would you mind helping us out? A couple things. Setting a goal. If you say, hey, we've set a goal, we'd really like to hit 1,000 followers, and then asking if they would help you out. Most of the time when you ask someone, hey, could you help us out? Rarely is someone going to say, no, I don't want to help you out, especially if they already have an Instagram account. So that's kind of a couple things to think about when you ask people to follow you. And we have found that works really well. Next, strategy 2, have a gift basket drawing for anyone that follows you on Instagram. So something visual inside of the practice that they can see. And then you can say, hey, when you come in, follow us and we'll enter your name into a little drawing for this gift basket if you follow us on Instagram. This practice does that. They do a different gift basket every month and to incentivize their patients. Strategy number 3, have visual reminders throughout your office that link to your Instagram page with a QR code or a name tag scan. So these could be little table tents that you put throughout your office. That can be, just signs and acrylic holders, posters that talk about your Instagram page. There's 2 ways to do it. There's what's called a name tag that Instagram creates like a little scan. It's like a QR code. It looks like this one here, where people can, if they go into Instagram and they say scan name tag in the options in the settings, they can just scan this photo and it goes straight to your Instagram page. The other way to do it is to create a QR code that just links directly to your Instagram page for people to follow you. So those are 2 ways to try. Strategy number 4, this is pretty much given, but I'm surprised how many people don't do this. Just send out an email with a direct link to your Instagram account. I like the idea of taking a screenshot of your grid, especially after you have some good posts in there and it really shows your personality, to show your patients what to expect when they go to your page, and then link to it in an email. Email is still super effective of doing this. Link to it just straight from email to your Instagram account so that people will follow you. And number 5, this is a really fun strategy that we have just come upon. And we're offering this. I'm going to talk a little bit about this at the end of my presentation because we're doing something really cool with this if you sign up for our services. So get one of these. It's called a follower counter that you can put on your front desk, and you can tie it to a little giveaway. So the way that this little follower counter works, let me show you. This one's a Facebook one, but they have an Instagram one as well. So when people click, when they're in your office and they click follow, they can actually watch this little counter flip to the next number. It kind of gives them that instant gratification. It's fun. It's a visual reminder of how you're trying to grow your page, and patients seem to have fun with doing that. So again, I'm going to talk about this at the end of my presentation, how we're going to give these away to practices that sign up with us. All right, number 4, do the work to connect with potential patients. Now, this is probably the hardest tip of all the tips I'm going to talk about, and it requires probably the most time, but it works the most effective. So let me talk a little bit about what I mean. So first, you're going to want to use local geotags and hashtags whenever you post. So here's an example here of a post made by this Happy Tooth in Salt Lake City. You can see underneath where it says Happy Tooth, it says Mill Creek, Utah. If you click on Mill Creek, Utah, you can see all the posts where people tag that hashtag in Mill Creek, Utah. So whenever you do a post, I would tag your local city. And when people ever search your city, your post will show up either in the recent section or the top post if you get a lot of followers. So this is a good way for search. And if Instagram launches this search thing as well, I imagine that a lot of these posts will start showing up if people search dentist in Mill Creek, Utah. Next, hashtags. Hashtags are really important. You've heard about hashtags, but it's a great way to get found. So on the bottom of your page, if you click on the little magnifying glass, you can search your city. This is the first hashtag that I would recommend that you search. So this is searching Lehi, Utah, which is a city here in Utah. And you can see underneath tags, hashtags, Lehi, Utah hashtag has been used 13.7 thousand times. And people can actually follow hashtags now. So if people in Lehi want to see hashtags about Lehi, Utah, they can follow that hashtag just like they're following an account. And then you can see the top posts and also the most recent posts of people that use that hashtag. And then you can also see related posts to that hashtag as well. So one of the related posts is Utah Valley, which Lehi is in Utah Valley. And so you can see some of the posts in that area as well. So what you're going to want to do is find all of the most relevant local hashtags. So try to search your city, try to search your state, try to kind of click on different posts to see what hashtags people are using in your local area. One thing that you could do, I found this recently, this is if you go to kickstud.co /Instagram hashtag generator, you can search a certain hashtag, so search your city, and then it will generate some different hashtags that relate to that one as well. So that's one way you can copy all these different hashtags. And then once you have all your hashtags, put them in maybe a notes, the Notes app on your phone. And every time you make a post, you don't have to put all these hashtags in the caption of that post. Some people do, which is fine. But it kind of makes your caption long. So what you can do is actually put it in the first comment. So after you make the post, create a comment and put all these hashtags in there. And you can put up to 30 different hashtags, and then Instagram won't let you put any more. And so what that does is if anybody follows any of those hashtags, your post will start showing up. And then this also helps you show up on that explore page a little bit more. So if people like a lot of common photos that have hashtags that are similar to the ones you're using, you will start showing up in this explore page more, so more people can start discovering you. If you go to your post that you made with the hashtags and you click on the View Insights, you can actually see how many people your post has reached. And then if you look down underneath impressions there, it says from hashtags, you can see exactly how many people from all those people came from hashtags. So you can see 2,367 of the 3,094 people actually saw the post because this person used certain hashtags that were relevant. So it's a great way to reach more people. I want to show this little clip by Gary Vee. A lot of you probably know who Gary Vee is. He's kind of a colorful marketing guru and thought leader. And I want to show you this video because it explains how he built his following. This was on Twitter, but the principles apply to Instagram. And he kind of talks about how you can do the same on Instagram. So let me just show this real quick.
The reason we're sitting here today is I decided from 2007 to 2011 to spend 4 to 8 hours a day replying to people on Twitter that weren't even talking to me. You could type in the name of that town, and then go in Instagram, and then go to places, click it, and see every photo that's been posted in your town, in that town. Okay. You can then go look at the photo. Could be her at a Goodwill saying, huge score. You could reply and say, good 7 to 150 on a fucking stapler. Go, girl. Right. Now all of a sudden, she's just a normal human. She only gets 6 comments to begin with. She's like, who's this man? She clicks, she goes, your bio is I sell homes. She's like, cool, nice guy, I hope he's not weird. And she's out. Right. But the 97th person that does that goes, he seems nice, goes in the funnel, you put out a good piece of content, like, I'm gonna DM him, I'm thinking about selling my home. What people don't understand is how much work I put to even begin the process of being who I am today.
All right, so like he talks about, it was a lot of work for him to do that, but this is the way that most people get the amount of followers that they do on Instagram. There are automated services that you can pay for that will do this to some extent, but it won't be personalized where you'd actually comment something that really means something. A lot of times they're just auto-generated comments, but they go around and they click on a bunch of people's profiles, or they like people's photos, or they like people's comments, so that people see your profile, they click on it, and they have that 1 second to decide if they want to follow you or not. It's that awareness way of doing things. So the real raw way of doing this is like Gary Vee did it. So you go to your city, you search your city, you go to the most recent posts. So this is an example that I did. I clicked on a couple of these most recent posts. I saw this couple that's maybe on an anniversary dinner, and this guy with his pet snake. And you can think of something to comment without being creepy, like Gary Vee says, to say, hey, I've been to that restaurant. That's a delicious restaurant. You can say, wow, that's great. You have a pet snake, or something, some comment on this guy's post. So when you do that, what are they going to do? They're going to click on your profile. They're going to give you that 1 second to say, hey, I'm looking for a dentist in my local area. This guy looks like he does, this practice looks like they're doing some great things. I'm going to follow them, or I'm going to interact with them as well. So that's how you can personally connect. Another way to do this is to engage with other local business followers. So if there is a local business in your area that has a decent following, and you know that probably a lot of their followers are local people that are your potential patients, you can go to their page and you can do a couple things. So this is if you think they have a similar target audience to what you're going for. So this is called the Baby Cubby. This is a place around here where a lot of moms follow this account. If you're trying to target moms, this is something you might want to do. Go to the last post. You can see there was 19 comments on the last post. You click on those comments, you see all the people that commented on that post, and you can try to do that with these people. Click on their profile, like a couple of their posts, comment on a couple of their posts here and there to try to create a conversation. Or you go to a local restaurant. This is a restaurant here that probably only people in my city know about. And you can go click on their followers, and it will show you all of their followers. So these are probably also local people. And you can do the same thing. Click on their accounts and like and comment on a couple of their photos, and then go to the next person. So this is a lot of work. I know probably a lot of you are saying, I don't have time to do this. You could assign someone to do this, but this is really the way to build relationships with people on Instagram. Tip number 5, shout out to other local businesses. So this is a great strategy that Park Ridge Dentist does. If you go to Park Ridge Dentist on their Instagram page, they do a lot of things with local businesses. And so what you would do is you would visit a well-known small local business with a decent social media following. Tell them that you want to tag them in a photo and tell your following how much you love them. So this is maybe a coffee shop that you go to all the time, or just some local business, and say, hey, I really want to tell, can I take a picture with you guys? I really want to tell people about you. So you can see here, Park Ridge Dentist said, it's so important to support a local restaurant. Dr. Engert picked up Ay Caramba restaurant tonight, and they talk about the restaurant, right? And this restaurant has 752 followers. And then step and repeat. Go to other local businesses and just tell them that you want to help promote them. And then the hope by doing this is that if you talk about them, they're going to talk about you to their following. So you can see here, Slave Lake Dental, they talk about the local shop where they get their balloons. And then when Grateful Heart, the balloon place, goes to Slave Lake Dental, they talk about them to their following. So it's a great way to return the favor. Another way that you can do that is just take a screenshot of a local business on Instagram and share it to your Instagram story, and then include a reason why you love that business. So if there's a burger shop like Burgers Plus, take a screenshot, say, we love going here, tag Burgers Plus. And most of the time when you tag a business and they have someone in charge of their social media, they'll share your photo onto their story so they can talk about you and drive people to your page. Another strategy is to buy a gift card from that local business and run a little social media giveaway. So again, Park Ridge Dentist does this great. And so what they do for the entries, they first talk about how great this, a bar or a pizza shop is. And they say, if you want this gift card, first like this post, follow our page, and then tag a friend in the comments that you wish you were having a beer with, at this place. And this is a way for people to tag their friends to come and follow you, and it just builds your following. Giveaways is one of the best ways to build your following on Instagram. And that's why it's actually my next tip that I'm going to talk about. So then after you do this, ask the business, send them a direct message and say, hey, would you mind sharing this giveaway on your social media accounts as well? We're giving away a $50 gift card to your restaurant. We'd love it if you wouldn't mind sharing. And most of the time, other businesses would be happy to do that. This is a well-known book that many of you probably heard of from Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. He said, you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people to be interested in you. So this is a great strategy to help other people, and it will come back to help you. Tip number 6, run a giveaway, which is what I kind of already talked about, but I'll talk a little bit more. These giveaways don't have to be huge. They can be as simple as giving away a Starbucks gift card like this practice did. Do something that's relevant to the season, or they talked about the pumpkin spice lattes during the fall, and do you like pumpkin spice? I think it says, do you like pumpkin spice? Or no way, Jose, no pumpkin for me. And so if people commented, they entered to win this $25 gift card to Starbucks, and you got all this engagement, and then they give away the Starbucks card. If you want to do a bigger giveaway, these work great too. This is a Mother's Day giveaway where they gave away a smile makeover to a special mother in their local community, and they had people nominate different moms and why they think that they deserve this smile makeover. And so you'd see comments like this, of really long comments of people nominating different mothers in the area. And this one did really, really, really well. It was obviously a really big giveaway, but it's a way to kind of get a lot of attention quickly. Another way to do giveaways, and I'm going to talk about influencers on a next tip, but you can run a giveaway on an influencer's page. So instead of trying to go out to your audience, you can access the audience of an influential person in your area, and they can push out your giveaway. So you can see here, this is Sarah Jane Warner. She did a giveaway on her page. She has 36.3 thousand followers, with a lot of local followers in her area. And so she did a post on her page that says, here's how to enter. Follow Dr. Chad Ellis and the Smile Studio and herself, and then like this post and head over to Dr. Chad Ellis's post and tag all your friends that make you smile. Each tag counts as an entry. So she's telling all of her friends to go over to this doctor because this is her doctor. And obviously the reason for this is because the doctor has created a deal with this influencer of helping her get some free dental work or discounted dental work to be able to do this. But it's a great way to access more people and the reach of influencers. So my next tip is work with Instagram influencers. If you don't know what an influencer is, this is a very, very powerful way to do marketing. In 2021, it's been the last few years, it's been very, very effective. is influencers are people that have built a following for themselves on Instagram, mainly around a certain topic. So it could be about health, it could be about fashion, it could be about family, whatever it is. People like to follow these influencers, and they trust these influencers even more than they do brands. And so you can see this is Motivation Mindy. She has 15.9 thousand followers. She would go to a dental practice and get some teeth whitening, maybe for free. And then she would talk about that practice on her page and tag the dentist on her smile and in the post, and tell all of her followers why she likes that dentist so much. Here's another example, Anna Escona. She has 17.9 thousand followers. This is actually an influencer that we set up with one of our clients. And she went in, got some teeth whitening done, and then she did a special deal for her followers she agreed with the practice to give a special deal to her followers if they went into the practice and mentioned this influencer. So this post, she actually did a couple different posts, and this actually, they received 834 combined likes on her posts. The practice got a 40% increase to their followers because she tagged the practice in all of her posts and in her stories. The total amount of views of her posts was 15,802 views, and the practice actually got 5 new patients from this to go get teeth whitening from this practice, because that's what she got, and she talked about how great it was. So working with these influencers and people that are trying to make a business online to be influential is a great way to do it. So here's a way to do this. In your next team meeting, ask your staff if they're aware of any current patients that have a large local following on social media. The key is that local following. There's some people that have large national followings, but there may be some specific influencers or people who have more of a local following, maybe over 3,000 followers. Think of these categories of talent because they tend to have larger followings. So athletes, podcasters or reporters, photographers, bloggers, musicians or actors or stylists or makeup artists. These are often people that have a pretty good following on social media. And then reach out to that patient and offer maybe a free or discounted services in exchange for posting about you. So I actually want to show this example. This is actually my cousin, Natalie. And Natalie doesn't consider herself an influencer. She's not really trying to make a business as an influencer online, but she is a photographer. And so she's trying to get more photography gigs with her Instagram account. And she doesn't have a huge amount of followers. She has 3,505 followers, but most of these followers are local people that she's worked with or just friends in the area. So this dental practice approached Natalie. Natalie was already one of his patients and did some some veneer work for her. And Natalie posted these stories on her Instagram account, tagging the practice. This reaction here, I think I have a video.
I can't even open my mouth. It makes me want to cry. That's not okay. No.
Just the emotional reaction that she had when she saw her smile. She talked about it with a number of different stories on her account. Here was another post that she did, tagging the practice with a picture with the doctor and the hygienist. And then my cousin actually sent me. I said, "So how did it do? You know, she got a discount, or she might have got the treatment for free." But I said, did it get the dentist a lot of business? And she said, "Yeah, it was super successful." She said, she took screenshots of all the messages that she got after her post. And so here are just some of them. People asking that, "Hey, I'm on a hunt for a new dentist. My current dentist is struggling to keep crowns in my mouth. Beautiful. I've always wanted to do this to my teeth, but I'm so self-conscious." You see all these messages of people talking to her, asking what her experience is before they reach out to the dentist. Again, this is a great way, not even necessarily to reach out to an influencer that's trying to start a business being an influencer, but just someone that has a decent following of people that trust them online. Mark Zuckerberg, the man who knows it best from creating this platform, said a trusted referral influences people more than the best broadcast message. Tip number 8, focus on quality engagement. And I want to show you this little clip. This is a thought leader in the design space that I follow. I'm also a graphic designer, and I really like what he says about focusing on quality followers rather than the quantity of followers.
Remember that it's way more important. The 100 people who follow you and love you are way more important than the 10,000 people who you don't know at all and don't do anything with, don't engage with you at all. So focus all of your effort on the 100 or the 1,000 people who really are, who love you, love your content, have that relationship, and work on building a deeper relationship with those people, and don't care so much about the big number that is the umbrella number. Get into the weeds, build true relationships with people.
I like that. Can we dive into that just a little bit more for people? Because this is like such a game changer. This completely changed my whole career, right? Everyone gets sold. You should have more followers. You should get more traffic to your blog, all that kind of stuff. Like Michael said, it's all about that depth, that connection with those people, and realize not all people are equal. They are in a sense of humanity, but when it comes to your greater business, they have very, very different kind of values for you. There is a big difference between a fleeting website visitor or someone that kind of unfollows you, and someone that engages with everything, buys everything you put out, and supports you. And so disproportionately put your time and effort into those people, because one true fan is quite literally worth more than 100,000 disengaged people. And people have that so like flipped around the wrong way. You know, everyone's chasing the 100,000, and we're here with our audiences. Like Michael and I, we get more engagement and more real interaction than people that have accounts with 1 million.
All right, so it's all about the people that care about you and love you already. Put more effort into them than trying to just get as many followers as you can. So quality over quantity. So it's about engagement. And as you get more engagement with people that already love you, your post, your message will start spreading, and you will start to be put, you'll be put in front of more people if you just focus on the people that already care about you. So some ways to do this, there's what's called the Instagram and Facebook algorithm. And there's ways, there are reasons why certain people see more of your posts in the future. And the reasons why are these people that typically interact with you. So if you have a fan or a super fan or someone that already loves you, who likes all of your posts, they're gonna see all of your posts in the future, because Facebook says, this business must be really relevant to this person. So let's keep showing that person all of the posts that account makes. So that's one thing that they look at. The second thing is the type of media that you post. So video links or videos actually rank a little more better than images. If you post more videos, more people will see that than maybe an image post. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. And then the popularity of the post. So if a post starts doing really well and a lot of people are liking it, then Instagram shows more people that post because they determine if it's relevant as people start liking it. And so some tips for this to get more engagement is to start genuine conversations, post original videos, and then highlight important moments. So moments like birthdays or things that your patients are doing or your team members are doing, where people would write maybe congratulations, or people would want to comment a lot more on that or like that post, because then they spread quicker. Also, respond to all comments, Whenever anybody takes the time to comment on one of your posts, reply to that comment. It's so important to do that for a number of reasons. Makes the person feel better about commenting on your post. It helps in the algorithm. The more comments you have in the post, the better. And so don't forget to respond to all your comments. Tip number 9, have a content plan. So I get asked this quite a bit. How often should we post? This is a quote by Neil Patel. And he talks about that. He says, if you make a habit of posting several times a day and then transition to only a few times a week, you'll start to lose followers and generate less engagement per post. This means that the best posting frequency for Instagram is the posting frequency that you can consistently maintain for the rest of your natural life. So there's no drop off in engagement for posting more, provided you can keep up the rate of posting. If you make a habit of posting several times a day and then transition to only a few times a week, you may start to lose followers and generate less engagement per post. So try to think of what you can consistently do, what you have the bandwidth to do, and try to keep consistent with that so that you can slowly gain more followers and more engagement. We recommend to our practices to try to post 3 times a week if you can. It can be a variety of different things, of different content, maybe things that are personal, things with patience, things that are fun. I've showed you a bunch of examples and I'll show you some more, but try to post if you can at least 3 times a week. So I'm going to talk about each type of content that you can post and give you some tips. Photos, posting photos. Which is what Instagram is a lot of, which is how they started, is posting photos. You want to make sure to post at the right times. They did a study recently, Sprout Social did a study of when to post. And they found, of all these businesses pages that they studied, that the best time to post was Wednesday and Friday between about 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. So you can take that for what it's worth, but that's what they found. They also found, when they looked into the healthcare industry, they found that Tuesdays from 7 a.m. to about 2 or 3 p.m. was the best time to post. Again, take that for what it's worth. You can try it, see if you get some more engagement. But a really good way to find out when you should be posting is to look at your insights if you've created a business page on Instagram. So if you go to the insights, you can actually go down to where it says followers, and you can see when your followers are online. So what days of the week they're online the most and what times of the day they're online the most, and then try to post during those times. They've found that if you can post photos with faces, it's a lot better. So 1.1 million Instagram posts were analyzed, and pictures with human faces are 38% more likely to receive likes and 32% more likely to receive comments. And that's why we really push that, posting graphics is okay, but if you can post something with the team member's face or patient's face, that's why we have those signs that we use a lot, because it puts a face to an idea. More faces, the better. Here's a practice that does a great job doing that. They post members of their team a lot, holding these signs and doing fun things in the office. Post carousel posts. So those are the posts with multiple images in it. So carousel posts, they found, were 2.2% more likely to get interaction than images. So those are, again, if you can post multiple photos, they can swipe. Instagram likes that because it gets the person to touch the photo, which means that they are interested in what's there. And that helps in that Facebook or an Instagram algorithm that I talked about. Something else kind of neat about this is if someone looks at the first photo and then they scroll past it, and then they get back on Instagram later and they're scrolling, Instagram will show them the second photo because it knows they already saw the first photo. So it gives you more chances to get in front of someone following you by posting additional photos. Next, be consistent. I talked about this already. Try to find a consistent posting strategy. Here, American Pediatric Dental Group, they do a really good job at just always posting and staying consistent. Next, video. They found that videos receive 18.6% more interaction than even those carousel photos, and 21.2% more interaction than even images. Why does Instagram like videos so much more than photos? Because when someone's watching a video, it requires more time. They're on Instagram, they're on the platform longer. And what does that mean if someone's on the platform longer? It's more opportunities for Instagram to advertise to them, which means more money for Instagram. So that's why they really like videos. That's why they've created the Reels. That's why they've created stories. It creates more ways for people to stay on the platform longer, so they favor it. Videos are great type of content to promote, and I'm going to talk about promoting posts in a little bit. Try to use IGTV. That's longer videos if you want to create a little bit longer content. This is Dr. Kate Gross. She's one of our good friends, and she has, talking about that strategy at the beginning of creating a personal brand where you're maybe interacting with other dental professionals. She creates little videos like this on IGTV where she talks to dental students. And
hey everybody,
just,
it's Dr. Kate again.
Says, hey, are you struggling with dental school? Let me tell you about my experience.
I'm going to actually talk today to a specific number of you.
That's a good way to
use
IGTV as
speak
well.
to the whole group, but today I wanted to talk specifically.
Stories. If you're familiar with Instagram, you probably know what Instagram stories are. This was a quote by Chris Cox. He's the chief product officer at Facebook. He said, this is a little while ago, he said, the story format will surpass the feed in 2019 and become the main format of content creation and communication within social media. And stories have really taken over social media. It is the most popular type of content now. You might know that Snapchat was the first to create this idea of posts that disappear after 24 hours. And that's what Instagram stories is. But you can see here on this graph that way back in 2017, Instagram surpassed Snapchat's usage and now is all the way up to 500 million users using stories. Why do people like stories? Well, it's a vertical format. It fills your whole screen. Most people hold their phones like this, and people are not turning their phones as much anymore. So it's just a quick way to view content. It's more real. People feel like more of a connection with the stories because most of the time when you create it, it's in the moment. It's fleeting. It disappears within 24 hours. Most people, they found, watch stories with the sound on. 70% of people watch with the sound on, which is great. And then there are more creation tools in stories. It's just more fun to create stories. If you've done it before, you can add stickers, you can add filters, you can add GIFs, there's so many fun things that you can do. It really is a fun content creation. So stories, they're at the top of the page now with everybody's feed. So people are finding that people are going to stories first before even scrolling down the feed. To create a story, you just click on that top icon there. You can post, they recommend that you post between 1 to 7 stories within 24 hours. They found that if you post more than 7 stories, a lot of times it's too much for people and they skip to the next story. But 1 to 7 is a good amount to do and to focus on video when you create stories. Use the story stickers to get engagement. There's a lot of fun stickers. You can do polls, you can ask questions, you can do quizzes, you can invite people to send you a direct message. Anything that you can get somebody to, again, touch the screen and do something, it shows Instagram that people are engaged and interested. And again, it will show them more of your content in the future if they simply click on a poll question, what's this or that, one touch will make sure that they see more of your content in the future. So that's why this is so great. A new post link. This is a good way to get people from your story to go look at your post that you make. If you click on that little paper airplane below your post, you can say, add this post to your story, and then it will go onto your story. You go up to the top to that little sticker, search new post, put new post over your story, and then people can link from this story to your feed and interact with you on your feed, which is a good way to do it. Also make highlights. This is at the very top of your page now. It's what's called highlights. So I said that stories disappear within 24 hours, but you can save them now in highlights. And I want you to think of this as like a nav bar on your website, but a lot better nav bar. This is a interactive, fun nav bar that people actually would click on. And so if you click on one of these by this practice, you can see all of their posts about kind of the culture of who they are. So people can get a really good idea really fast of who you are as a practice, and they can go directly to an FAQ section or whatever it might be in your highlights. Number 10, jump on the latest updates. So whenever Instagram comes out with something new, it's smart to jump on those updates because they favor that content more because they want it to do well. So the latest update to Instagram that you might have heard about is what's called Reels. And Reels is the equivalent of TikTok. If you're familiar with TikTok, Instagram basically just copied them and created what's called Reels. So there's a couple examples from Placerville Ortho where they've used Reels. This is kind of give you an idea of what you can make. So it allows you to make really quick cuts and then put music over the top of it. There's a lot you can do in there, but this is just fun content that people enjoy watching. People like to go to social media to be entertained, and this is entertaining type of content. I'm gonna give you one bonus tip. And everything I talked about, the top 10, these 10 tips, they're all free for the most part. Besides hiring somebody to do it, you don't have to pay to do any of that. It just takes time. This 11th tip is to pay to reach more people. And this is, of course, something that you should have the option of doing. Instagram, a couple articles, Instagram brought in 20 billion in ad revenue last year. It was more than a quarter of Facebook's earnings, and they generated more ad revenue than YouTube in 2019. So a lot of people are using Instagram as a place to run ads. Also, Instagram is estimated to be 30% of Facebook's ad revenue by the end of 2020. So in every post that you make, well, you can run ads, kind of traditional type of ads on Facebook, or you can push them to Instagram. And that requires a whole strategy of testing content, what works and what doesn't. A lot of times driving people to landing pages to see how many people convert and tracking those numbers. That's a more complicated process, but a quick way to just put a little bit of money into your post is to click on the little promote button underneath every post. And it takes you on a really quick, I think it's like a 5-step process of how you can just get that post to be viewed by more people. So it asks people first, where do you want to send people? So you can send them to your website, a landing page. You can send them to send you a message, or you can, if you're just trying to get more followers, you can just send them to view your profile. And you can do a photo of your office, or just a photo of you standing in front of your sign, or a photo of your team, whatever it might be. This might be good type of content, just explaining who you are. And then the next few steps are defining your audience. So you can create your own audience and just target around your geographic area, how many miles radius around your geographic area, and it'll tell you how many people you can potentially reach by targeting that area. And then you decide your budget. So you can say $5 daily, I want to put $10 daily, and then how many days that you want this to be seen by people in your local area. And it'll tell you what your estimated reach will be. So this is one way to guarantee you will be put in front of people. If you have a good looking Facebook or Instagram account, like I've talked about, you will probably get more people to engage with you and to follow your page. A couple little tips for your content for these type of ads: make it personal. These type of videos right now are really doing well, where you kind of just do a close-up of your face and turn your camera around. You see people do this in their car all the time, which I wouldn't recommend if you're driving, but it's people watch this content because they want to know what you're saying. So just talk about your practice, talk about who you are, hey, I'm here in this area, we'd love to see you. We're running a little promotion right now. Talk about maybe a service you do, if you do Botox or something unique to your practice. And then catch people's attention very quickly. They found that every second on mobile matters. From the palm of our hands, we're consuming and recalling more content faster than on any device ever before. According to this group test, it only takes 0.25 seconds of exposure for people to recall a mobile feed content at a statistically significant rate. and people spend on average 1.7 seconds with a piece of content on mobile compared to 2.5 seconds on desktop. So a lot of people, I mean, Instagram is a mobile platform. So you have 1.7 seconds or 0.25 seconds to try to convert someone in that ad or in that post. So I try to catch people's attention very quickly. Those are all my tips. We want to help you with My Social Practice. We help you with this process of creating content. We do a lot of it for you. If you just don't have time to do it, we will set you up with a social media marketing consultant to customize a solution according to your needs. We give you a calendar of what you can post on Instagram. We will send you a box like this of just ideas and props and signs and just fun, engaging ideas to get more people liking and following you. We also offer a lot more than just social media. If you just need help with your digital marketing strategy, SEO, getting more reviews, your website, we can help you with your whole digital marketing strategy. We'd love to help you. Right now, I told you about that counter at the beginning as one of my tips. We are giving away these free counters until January 1st of 2021 if you sign up on our social media marketing services. So you have your choice of a Facebook counter or an Instagram counter. I showed you that, an Instagram counter, and then we give you all these printed materials, these printable printed materials that go along with it to put on your front desk to try to get people to follow your account. That counter is a $400 value. If you try to get it anywhere else, we're throwing it in for free if you are interested. So if you are, you can either go to mysocialpractice.com/counter and fill out a form for a free demo, and we can talk to you about our product so you can secure this offer, or feel free to contact me directly. I'd be happy to help answer any questions you have. Here's my email, blake@mysocialpractice.com. Visit us at mysocialpractice.com, or you can call us and we'd be happy to talk or set you up on a demo. So thank you so much for your time tonight and joining us. I would be happy to answer any questions that you have. I don't know if any have come in, Natalie, but I am happy to answer any questions.
Well, it was perfect timing. We came right up to the hour. We don't have any questions right now. I think you were awesome and thorough. Thank you so much, Blake. A lot of great takeaways and action items for everyone today. Yeah, so just thank you for your expertise in helping us all understand Instagram. And like Blake mentioned, please don't hesitate. Send him an email, contact us at mysocialpractice.com. One thing that we at My Social Practice really like to do is talk to you individually about your practice, how big you are, your goals, what you're planning on for the next year. I know 2020 has been confusing and kind of a whirlwind for a lot of you. So contact us, whether you're our client or not. We want to talk to you and help you find the right solution. So thank you again, Blake.
Looks like Rachel asked one question. Do you recommend following people back? Yes, I do. I think if somebody follows you, I think, I don't know if you're getting a lot of followers through some strategy that you're doing, I don't think that you have to follow every single person back that follows you. But if it's just your patients, little by little coming in, I think it's good to follow them back and interact with them once in a while. Take a little bit of time each week to scroll down your feed. If it's your patient's birthday, then you would see it and say, hey, happy birthday. I think any time that you can interact with a patient or a potential patient, it just solidifies that relationship just a little bit more. I mean, most practices only see your patients every 6 months. This gives you an opportunity to interact more, throughout the year. So yeah, I would recommend that you follow back, but if you have thousands of followers, you don't have to follow everybody back. So any other questions anybody has? I'd love to answer them, or again, you can email me directly at blake@mysocialpractice. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to help. All right, you're welcome, Rachel. Thank you, everybody. And we will talk to you soon. Look for more webinars in the future.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
All right. Thanks, everyone.